You've seen this chart before. It's on Trading Views, and it's tracking the S&P 500 back to 1982, and that's the familiar candlestick line. This is in the inverted yield curve, where I've indicated that it's a pretty good indicator that the market is going to crash. It predicted, as you see here, the dot-com bubble. It predicted the subprime crisis, and now I believe it's predicting the commercial loan crisis. The other thing it points out is that when interest rates come down, the market usually comes down with it as well, which is counterintuitive. You think when money gets cheap, the market's going to go up, but just the opposite happens. It happened here again. Here again, it happened. And as we move forward, Jerome will probably lower interest rates, and that is an indicator that the market is going to go down. But I've added that yellow line. And when I added the yellow line, it just struck me as I don't believe it. I don't believe what I'm seeing there. That yellow line is our national debt. To give you some relevance, in 2000, our national debt was $4 trillion. That's an easy number for me to remember. In 2018, our debt matched with our year. It went to 18 trillion. And that was the quantitative easing that came out of the subprime crisis. We just kept adding to our debt. And then, as you see, it went up until 2020 when the coronavirus hit. And in that year, we added 9 trillion to it. And so now we're at 32 trillion. And I think everybody would agree the debt is out of control. This is going to bring our nation down, and we have to get it under control. And I subscribe to that as well. We've got to bring it under control. But I did this, and I said to myself, my God, there's something else that's really out of control, and it's going to create a disaster. And it stuck out at me, and it said, well, we went along, and we were, as a rate of increase, the S&P was under the out of control of the debt. And then in 1996, the S&P said, we're leaving the debt behind. And we went up here and we crashed. And we came down and we leveled out to the debt, and we said, let's do that again. And we went back up and we had the subprime crisis and we crashed. And we moved along and we stayed under the debt. We stayed under, and then we went above it. And guess what happened? In 2018, we crashed, and we got it under control. And then again, the subprime or the COVID hit, and we went down under it. But we didn't want to stay under the pace of the debt. We can put that debt pace in a rearview mirror, and we did. Holy crap, did we? I mean, look at the pace compared to the dot-com bubble or the subprime crisis. We left it in a rearview mirror. And what happened? We crashed. There we are. And where are we now? Well, our statistics, for some reason, I don't know why, end at July 2023. But I know where we're at. We're right there. But we're putting that debt pace in a rearview mirror. Guess what's going to happen now? Guess. Go ahead. You guess. Remember, Jerome's going to lower interest rates. What happens when interest rates get lowered? The market crashes. Of course. We know that. It crashes. But not this time. Oh, no. I had a comment just today. The market will rally for the next 10 years. Oh, really? Oh, really? The market's out of control. Do I have to push it up your nose and say, take a big breath? There it is. Bam. There it is. Bam. There it is. Bam. It's not the debt that's out of control. It's the stock market that's out of control. Get that through your head. Do not allow this bubble to burst all over you. Go find cash or gold. Hell, I'd even try Bitcoin based on this. That's 30 trillion. That's from, again, let me just give you this, 4 trillion to 30 trillion. And the S&P is outpacing it. Holy crap. I don't know. We talked about this in our stock talk last evening, and we have a gentleman who is in the manufacturing business, and he made the statement, this is collapsing. And then we had a young man who came on, and he was saying, if I understand right, he was a insurance adjuster in California, and he said, California's shutting down. They're throwing out the insurance companies because they can't. The state won't allow them to put the rates up as high. We know what's happening with car loans. We know what's happening with the commercial loan. Then I was watching some other stuff, and I want to show you this. This is kind of cool. I want to show you that orange and that light blue line, and I want to take it. Those are two ETFs, and they actually and again, that's your debt. It makes it even more dramatic. But you know what those two lines are? The orange line and the blue line. And look how they track each other, and then they meet together here in May of 2021, and that orange line crashes, and the blue line climbs. That's the China ETF. Yeah. That's the India ETF. Got any grandkids? You might want to buy. It's INDA. You might want to buy them some India. The further I looked into this, India is about exactly where China was in 1984. We know that the world is trying to exit China. We know Tim Cook built 3 factories in China. The guy on our Stock Talk, I asked him, he's in the nut and bolt business. He makes the nuts and bolts, I hope not that go in Boeing airlines, but he says our problem with China is we can manufacture the nuts and bolts that we need that are going into Lowe's and Home Depot and your local drugstore, but we don't have control over the quality, integrity, that's the word he used, of the product in China. So we have to have them still made with very tight scrutiny. And he says that's the issue in China right now. But as you move forward and you work with the people of India, that integrity issue will become less and less. As he pointed out, Apple has overcome it. Some of the semiconductor people are working to overcome it. But just put that on your watch list. It's INDA. I did a video on it back, I don't know how long ago. I'll do some more work on it because I want to get into that more because I think it's really a missed opportunity. But I want to give you one more look at the situation. Let's go back to about 1979. The situation relative to which is out of control, the national debt or the S&P 500. And if you really want to blow your mind, put it up against the QQQs. Yeah. I didn't do it when the QQQs because they don't go back far enough. They don't go back. The QQQ only goes back to 2000. And I think to really represent the severity of the debt is out of control. Have you heard a congressman stand before the microphone and the lights and say, the stock market's out of control? Well, maybe they'll watch this video and they'll get cued in. Because, folks, this is not financial advice. This is my financial observation. These are the kind of things we talk about on our Stock Talk. That's our tribe. Our tribe lives on our bus. We have a bus 12, a bus 13, and I started a bus 14, which is kind of moonshots, but we got to get this out of the way. This crash has to get done with. We have to go to our safe spot, and we've discovered it. We know where it's at. Our safe place. That's what the weatherman always says. Go to your safe place. The tornado is coming. The hurricane's on the way. The tsunami's at the shoreline. Hey, there it is. You look at it. You see it. Come join us. Get on the bus and we'll talk more every Friday about our safe place. Wow. That's something to see. Okay. Have a good, well, I'm going to have a good weekend.